Welcome to Moroccotastic podcast. Join us as we explore the beauty and culture of Morocco. Let's dive in.
All right, get those hiking boots ready because today we're diving headfirst into the high Atlas Mountains of Morocco.
Ooh, nice.
These mountains are calling my name with promises of towering peaks,
Yes.
hidden valleys, ancient Berber culture.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for this one. Are you ready to hit the trail?
I am so ready for this. You know, the high Atlas Mountains have this way of just pulling you in with their beauty, but it's that cultural immersion. It's that chance to connect with the Berber people that truly makes it special.
Yeah.
It's not just like a physical trek, right? It's a journey through time.
I love that. And speaking of journeys, I know you've always wanted to summit Mount Toubkal, North Africa's highest peak.
Yes.
That's definitely on my bucket list.
Bucket list, for sure.
What makes it so iconic?
Well, for one, I mean, the altitude. You're standing at over 13,600 feet. Gives you some serious bragging rights, right? But it's the journey. It's the journey from Imlel, this charming little village at the base, that makes it so captivating.
Yeah.
So imagine, you start your day, you're in the Imlel market, you're surrounded by the scents of spices, and then you end your day with like a delicious tagine under a sky full of stars.
Wow, I can practically smell those spices now. But then the landscape changes pretty drastically, right? You're trekking through some seriously rugged, ancient terrain.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You're passing ancient juniper trees. Some of them are rumored to be hundreds of years old. Their branches are gnarled by time and wind. It's amazing. And the higher you climb, the more breathtaking those 360-degree views become.
Yeah.
Until finally, you're at the summit, and you have earned those panoramic views of the entire mountain range.
I bet that sense of accomplishment feels incredible. But for those of us who, maybe prefer a little more solitude on the trail, I've heard the Mgoun Massif is kind of a hidden gem of the high Atlas, right?
Yeah, you could say that. Toubkal definitely draws the crowds, but the Mgoun Massif, it's different. It offers this much more intimate experience with this rugged, wild beauty. We're talking deep gorges carved by the Mgoun River, and Jebel Mgoun, that's Morocco's second highest peak. It kind of stands watch over it all, like a silent guardian.
Deep gorges, silent peaks, it sounds almost mystical. I bet being surrounded by that kind of untouched nature is an incredible experience.
It truly is, and you can just feel the presence of the Berbers. They've called these mountains home for centuries. But the high Atlas isn't just about conquering peaks. It's about exploring the contrasts. There's a whole different side to this region just waiting to be discovered.
You're talking about the valleys, right?
Yes.
I've heard whispers about a place called the Happy Valley. It almost sounds too good to be true.
And yet Aït Bouguemez, that's his real name, it totally lives up to the nickname, I'm telling you.
Okay.
So picture this. After days of challenging climbs, you finally descend into this valley where time just seems to slow down, and instead of those towering peaks all around you, you're surrounded by these fertile fields just bursting with life.
So we're talking lush green fields as far as the eye can see. Tell me more.
Okay, picture this. Vibrant emerald green fields. Okay? And farmers are still using those traditional methods, the same ones that have been passed down for generations. You'll see goats grazing on terraced hillsides. The air smells like wildflowers and freshly tilled soil. It's a stark contrast to those rugged peaks, but equally captivating.
It sounds like stepping into a completely different world. And I read that Aït Bouguemez is also known for its apple orchards.
It's true. Imagine walking through these rows of apple trees. The branches are just heavy with fruit. You might even get to try a freshly picked apple, still warm from that Moroccan sun. And nestled among those orchards are traditional Berber villages built from those, mud brick houses. They blend seamlessly with the earth.
It's amazing to think that people have lived in harmony with this land for centuries. It's a whole different pace of life.
Absolutely. Yeah. But speaking of contrasts, just a valley away is the Tassaut Valley. It offers a completely different perspective on the high Atlas experience.
Oh, what makes the Tassaut Valley unique? I'm ready for a change of scenery.
Okay, so if Aït Bouguemez is like a gentle embrace, Tassaut is this burst of color and drama.
Okay.
So imagine towering red rock cliffs, their surfaces sculpted by centuries of wind and rain. And cutting through these dramatic formations is the Tassaut River. This turquoise water is a stark contrast against that red rock.
Wow, I can practically see the photographs now, turquoise rivers, red rock cliffs, and always those majestic peaks in the background. But what about the people who call this breathtaking landscape home? I'm dying to know more about the Berber culture.
And you should be. Because trekking through the high Atlas is about so much more than just the scenery. It's about connecting with the people who have such a deep connection to this land.
So we're not just talking about hiking past villages from a distance, but actually getting the chance to interact with the Berber people,
Exactly.
to learn their stories firsthand.
Yeah, imagine like sitting down with a Berber family. Maybe you're sipping some traditional mint tea. The aroma's just filling the air. And they're sharing stories, stories passed down through generations, tales of life among those peaks and valleys. You might even learn about ancient traditions, like their unique weaving techniques or the art of making argan oil.
Wow, that's what I call true cultural immersion. It's one thing to see the landscapes, right? But to actually connect with the people who've called these mountains home for centuries,
Mhm.
that's something else.
It really is.
Yeah.
And those interactions, those shared moments, those are the things that you will remember long after you've come down from the mountains.
I bet. Now, for those of us itching to start planning a trip, what is the absolute best time of year to experience the magic of the High Atlas?
Ooh, that's a good question. Both spring and autumn, they offer incredible trekking conditions, but for different reasons.
Okay, let's start with spring. What makes it so special?
Well, imagine this. After a long, harsh winter, the High Atlas just bursts to life. We're talking fields carpeted in wildflowers, waterfalls cascading down the mountainsides as the snow melts, this vibrancy that's just contagious. You might run into shepherds leading their flocks up to higher pastures, and you hear the sound of their flutes echoing through the valleys.
That sounds idyllic. But doesn't spring also mean melting snow? Potentially muddy trails? Maybe some unpredictable weather?
That's true. Spring in the High Atlas can be a bit, feisty. It's something to keep in mind depending on your experience level.
Right.
Now, if you're looking for more predictable conditions, you want those crystal clear skies, perfect for photography. Autumn is the way to go.
Okay, so classic trade-off, vibrant landscapes in spring versus those classic, crisp autumn views. What about summer? Is that even an option in the High Atlas?
It definitely gets hot,
Yeah.
especially down in the valleys during the summer months. But remember, we're talking serious elevation here. So as you climb higher, the air thins out and those temperatures become way more manageable.
Okay.
Plus fewer crowds. So if you don't mind the heat and you actually prefer a little solitude, summer can be a really rewarding time to explore the High Atlas.
Good point. You've given me a lot to think about. Now, what about the logistics? The sources mention local guides and muleteers. Are they absolutely essential for trekking in the High Atlas? Or more of a nice to have?
Here's the thing. Yes, they can help with navigation, especially on those multi-day treks. And they can definitely lighten your load, right?
Yeah.
But their true value, it goes way beyond logistics.
Oh, tell me more. I'm intrigued.
Okay, so think of those local guides like cultural ambassadors, okay?
Huh?
They're not just, pointing out landmarks. They're sharing their intimate knowledge of the mountains, of their people, of their home. They might point out a rare bird that's, only found in the High Atlas, or share a folk tale inspired by those towering peaks. They could even teach you a few Berber phrases, which, I'm telling you, can lead to some really special interactions with the locals.
So it's about more than just like reaching the summit, right? It's about embracing the journey itself.
Yeah.
And allowing yourself to just be fully present in each moment.
Exactly. And having a local guide by your side just enhances that experience tenfold, I'd say. They really act as a bridge between, your world and theirs, and it unlocks a deeper understanding of the High Atlas that you simply wouldn't get otherwise.
It sounds like they become more than just guides. They become friends, storytellers, keepers of ancient wisdom. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the best travel experiences come from those connections, connecting with people who see the world through a different lens.
Absolutely. And those connections, those shared stories, the laughter, those are the things that will stay with you long after you've returned home.
So we've covered the peaks, the valleys, the people. The High Atlas truly seems to offer a tapestry of unforgettable experiences. But for those of us dreaming of embarking on our own High Atlas adventure, is there anything else we should keep in mind? It really does seem like the High Atlas Mountains have something to offer everyone, huh?
Yeah.
From those challenging climbs to those peaceful valleys and those ancient traditions just woven into the landscape itself.
That's what makes this region so special. It's not a one-size-fits-all destination. The High Atlas, it kind of invites you to craft your own adventure, to decide what truly speaks to you.
I love that. It's a choose your own adventure just waiting to happen. So for our listeners who are already, dreaming of those Moroccan sunsets over those mountain peaks, what's the one thing you'd want them to remember as they plan their journey?
That's a good question. I mean, we talked about the physical challenges, the cultural richness, the sheer beauty of the High Atlas. But I think the most important thing is to approach this region with an open heart and a willingness to embrace the unexpected.
That's such great advice for any adventure, really, to let go of those expectations and just be present in each moment.
Exactly. Because it's in those unscripted moments, those chance encounters, that the true magic of the High Atlas reveals itself. Maybe it's, sharing a pot of mint tea with a Berber family, their laughter echoing through the starlit night.
Or stumbling upon a hidden waterfall. It's the symphony of nature.
Or simply just feeling the warmth of that Moroccan sun in your face. As you gaze out at a landscape that's barely changed in centuries, those are the memories that you'll carry with you long after you've returned home.
Beautifully said. So to our listener out there, as you continue planning your own High Atlas adventure, we leave you with this. What kind of magic are you seeking?
And how will the High Atlas Mountains help you find it?
Until next time, keep exploring.